Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Ah, he's back. Uh, he he's back. Yeah. Kanan is back, you guys. We are here for the review of Power Book 3. This season 2, episode 1, Raising Kanan. The more things change. And you guys know the rest of that saying, the more they stay the same, right? But the title is The More Things Change. And this was a lighthearted episode. It had its ominous moments, but yeah, I mean, we're just basically catching up with our characters, right? You guys know we are here for Raising Kanan. I really enjoyed last season. We just finished up P-Valley. Today is Monday, and the show typically comes out on Sundays. So you guys will be getting your reviews on Sunday normally, like we do all of our Sunday shows, except today. Today's the exception because yesterday was just like, ugh, especially with the end of P-Valley. Like, I love that show. The Lord knows I love that show, but child, it wore me out. Like, I was over it and all that patchwork editing. Like, no. Anywho, if you were here for my P-Valley review yesterday, you know I am switching it up a little bit. So we're just talking about the facts of this episode, what we know so far. And it kind of, doing the facts kind of fills us in with how our characters moving and why they're moving the way that they're moving. And so let's see how this goes, you guys. Listen. Fact number 1, Kanan is back. Kanan has been in Virginia, at Virginia Beach, with some of his in-laws, and he's had a good time. He's enjoyed himself. Now, this is back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, summer vacation was still like 3 months, like right at 3 months. It's only in the last few years or so that where kids have barely get like 45 days. We had like 3 whole months. Like, you had time to forget all that you were taught, right? So, yeah. He's sitting on the beach and he's contemplating just, his life, like his short life and how much he has done in this short period of time that he was in the drug game with his mom, and just this last incident where he stood up and looked a man right in his eye and shot him, and he's having all of these emotions. Rock walks down to the beach where he is sitting and she talks to him a little bit, and it's very endearing, this conversation. At the same time, Rock is ecstatic about getting him back home, which I thought was odd because she spent a good portion of season 1 trying to get him to leave, get him out of this situation so that he wouldn't be affected, especially because people were coming for her and coming for the family, and she was going to have to defend those positions, and she didn't want Kanan to be caught in the crossfire. It was Kanan that talked her out of this, right? But now that he's regretting it, it seems like it's vice versa. She want him to come home, and he kind of low-key want to stay. Well, fact number 2, Marvin and Unique are both being let out of jail. Marvin, they really didn't have anything to hold him on, and the Caucasian lady who was supposed to be their intel, she skipped town, so they don't have nothing on him, but they still find a way to punish him by putting him in anger management. It's a little odd, but I know we need these types of storylines in order to move our characters around, move information around. So I get that, right? Unique is being let out because it's proven some sort of way that he wasn't the one that in fact shot Detective Howard. So I don't know how Unique is going to play out. I thought we were going to get a different villain, and he was going to be, even though Rock is a villain too. I know, I get it. But I thought we were going to get a different antagonist. But it looks like he's going to be let out, and he's going to be, still. So I'm here for Joey Bad Arse. So I'm cool with that. And Joey is handling himself in jail. Unique is handling himself in jail. He is, taking it all in stride, but he got plans for when he come out. I promise you that. And so yeah, we see fact number 3. Lou is more distant from the family and the family business than ever. And he's more distracted than ever now with the music, right? So if you thought he was going to get better and get back in line for season 2 and just follow that status quo, no, not going to happen, right? It's not happening, right? We see that Lou is more invested in the music business than he ever was before. Fact number 4, Rock has managed to get an entire housing project hooked on and under the drug game, right? When we left her 3 months ago, she had a apartment above and below each other, and that's how they were moving the drugs around, right? And keeping the cops from getting at it. Now we've gone from that to her having pretty much all the floors except for a few where there are some like regular families living there, seniors living there. This is affordable housing after all. But yeah, it's just crazy how prolific the drug game is in terms of how fast. It's spread like kudzu. But we're going to talk about it a little bit more. It's impressive and frightening all at the same time. We see that Detective Howard survived his shooting. This is fact number 5 and our last fact. And he has been cured both of cancer and a piece of lead in his body. It's a Saturnalia miracle. But he's pretending to have amnesia, right? And at first it kind of seems like he does have amnesia. I almost called his name. And he was in Too Deep too. Omar Epps. Omar Epps has perfected the furrowed brow. Like this whole episode, you see him and he's got the furrowed brow. He's always looks concerned. He always looks like he can smell something, like something is afoot, like something ain't right, like what's that noise, like do you smell that, like, you know what I'm saying, like furrowed brow, extreme furrowed brow, right? And so his partner is still being a nuisance. She is still sticking her nose in. She feels like, miracle. I get it. I got all that. But are you sure about this amnesia? This is what she talking to the doctor about. I was like, first of all, doctor, don't be telling people's HIPAA. Don't be talking about people's medical business and conditions and stuff. You don't talk about that with his partner. Huh? Not his partner. It's just partner on the paperwork. Come on now. We find out that they found another detective after they did a blood drive who had the same blood type as him, and gave him the marrow that he needed to help. And now he's in like complete remission. This is 3 months, complete remission, completely healed, ready to go home. And he's giving them what for in the hospital, with the furrowed brow. They misplaced some jewelry of his, and he ain't leaving till he get it, right? His partner in the meantime trusts no one. So let's go over our characters and we talk about exactly where they are in this episode. We see where, like I said, Rock is excited about getting Kanan back under her watchful eye. And I think that's probably one of the huge reasons why Rock wants him back home, because she don't need him to be down there feeling emotions and things and being a kid and talking out of school. You know what I'm saying? What go on in this housing project slash crack den, it stays in this housing project slash crack den, right? I think that's a little part of it. Her and her sister had some conversation, and there were some things that were being said about when they grew up and how their mama used to try to get them away. And then Kanan walks in the room, and they both stopped the conversation. So we're going to put a pin in that, because I heard you, and I'm watching you. Okay, Rock? I know you got a lot of secrets up under that crinkle cut wig, right? Like that French roll slash tuck she had in her head, and them big barrel crinkles she had in her hair. I was like, you better give us 90s. You best give us 90s, boo. Okay, Rock is phenomenal. Like, the character, the actress that plays Rock is fine. Like microwave peanut butter fine. Like smooth, silky, you know what I'm saying? Ooh wee, baby, that waist is tiny. It's tiny. Okay, lips, hair, nails, pocketbook. Okay, you see these shoes, huh? You see this belt right here cinched on this teeny tiny waist? Baby, I am coiffed. I am pressed, okay? Okay. All right. So, yeah, they got some secret things going on. She assures Kanan on their ride back from Virginia that Detective Daddy, a.k.a. Detective Howard, remembers nothing. He has amnesia. I had people check on this 4 ways since Sunday. Therefore, you're safe, Kanan. Like, you don't have to worry about him talking about what happened and who did what to him, because he don't remember nothing. Right? I think it was a smart play on Detective Howard's part. I really do. I really think that was a smart move that he made. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. Right? Okay. So, we see where, she takes Kanan, and she wants to show him what she has done in 3 months. Okay, you see all these zombies? I did that. You see all these armed guards on the roof that can see from 5 miles away when we bent the corner? I did that, huh? They walk into the building, it's crackheads everywhere. Okay, it's pregnant crackheads, it's young crackheads and old crackheads and fat crackheads and skinny crackheads. It's crackheads with one leg, it's crackheads with glasses on it, blind crackheads and deaf crackheads and mute crackheads. Okay, it's girl crackheads and boy crackheads. Okay, it's gay crackheads, straight crackheads, transgender crack, like every crackhead, every demographic is represented within the crack game in Rock's building, right? You walk in and there's people trying to get on the elevator, and they are just like, oh, Rock walk in and push the button and step in front of the crowd. She got Kanan with her, and she is wanting to show him the empire. Like, look, they scared. I run all of them, right? I run the sober ones and the high ones. Yeah. Don't nobody mess with me here. They get on the elevator and nobody else got on with them. And Rock, when they get on the elevator, Kanan was like, why didn't nobody else get on? She was like, you got to ask them. Or maybe it's because I'm the pedophilia. I think that's man of the family, head of the family. I'm not sure what the word is for females. It ain't pedo though. Is it meta? I don't know. I'm that queen pin, right? I'm that kid. I'm that big, right? I'm that big. Yeah. Respect the game. Respect the game. Right? Okay. She's super proud. And I'm sure this whole time she kind of feels that Kanan is kind of in this, I don't know, this is kind of overwhelming. This is a lot, Mom, kind of phase. She peeps it, but you'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be all right once he sees everything Mom has done and the empire that she has built that he can be a part of. He'll be fine, right? So she get upstairs and she was like, and you see people passing money through doors and getting the crack out. Like, it's a whole drive-through, underground, railroad type situation. Not to be disrespectful to the Underground Railroad, but I'm just saying it's a whole organization going on. It's a whole city going on within the city, and it's all in this building, right? Okay, it is impressive. Kanan is impressed. At the same time, it takes his breath away. Like it takes my breath away. I'm like, this is a lot of crackheads in one condensed space. Like, what if somebody shake this building and the crackheads run scattering everywhere? Like, you gonna release all these jokers on the city? Now, when they was on their way in, she could see some unique men being shook down on the street corner. And she was like, poor little dear hearts, still out here slinging on these street corners. That's the old way of doing business. The new way is to take over an entire apartment complex and indoctrinate them mugger duckers to be a part of your drug game. That's how you do it. You take your drugs to the people, right? You don't let the people come to the drugs. You take your drugs to the people, right? So, it's like I said, it's huge. It's huge, you know. And we see where, like I said, she's got an apartment drug house up and running, and Marvin is running that. We're seeing the switch up. Even though Marvin is just being released from jail, he's gonna run the Carter building. And then she's got another building that she's looking to acquire called the 40. And that's the building that she wants Lou to run. Okay, it's crazy because Lou is not really in it to win it, right? We see where she is the head of the empire, and she's in charge of all dinner parties, right? Like, Rock, if y'all ever seen Animal Kingdom on TNT, you can think about Smurf. You see how Smurf used to run her boys, right? At the same time, she would punish them and send them out to do these dastardly crimes, which included murder and robbery and mollywopping and stuff like that. She would make beautiful dinners for them. She would set it out. I mean, she would do breakfast for them every morning. She would, make a gambit of things. Like, she would put a smorgasbord out, and she was honey, baby, sweetie, I love you, mama loves you, and all of this stuff. But she was ruthless. She was as ruthless as they come, and I'm seeing that from Rock. Okay, like I said, she throws the family dinner party to welcome Kanan back. She's continuing to stroke Kanan's ego and his emotions, because she can tell he's having a hard time. Even after just 3 months, he's having a hard time, like, finding his comfy place here, right? It's like this is all foreign to him, and he really, slightly doesn't want to be a part of it. I'm sure she's feeling that energy. She's keeping up with everyone and everything. Detective Howard, Unique, what he's doing in jail, Marvin, Jude, Lou, and his Lou and his dreams and his hobby. It's so crazy because when we saw season 1 start, we saw that Rock had a lot of venom and vitriol for Marvin. You're stupid, you're dumb, you don't pay attention, you don't know, you're always messing something up. Lou is my boy. Lou handles everything. If she had something she wanted to say to Lou, she pulled Lou off to the side. She met with Lou and Marvin together, but then she sent Marvin on, and then she had a confab with Lou. Lou was like her consigliere. Ooh, baby, you better come through. You better come through with the mob terms. Consigliere, boo. Consigliere. So he was like counsel and sounding board and her number one, right? He was the one that did jobs that had to get done and they couldn't be mucked up. Marvin moving a whole drug stash in the back of his red BMW. Like, goodbye. Anywho, he number one. He number one. I wouldn't say he at the consigliere stage. It kind of feels like Rock is running this whole thing on her own. Like, she is her own consigliere, but at the same time, just making a note of it. We also get to see where there's this moment where she meets with she has lunch with Symphony. You know, he took Kanan down to Virginia, and she wants to thank him, and Kanan is there. They obviously got really close during that ride. Had a lot of conversations during that ride where he doesn't really know exactly what Kanan did, that he had to be shipped off, but he knows that Kanan is scared. And you know, Rock is looking at him like, man, you get finer and finer every time I see you. And when I think about the way you used to and get down in it, but I got to stay focused. He tells her that Kanan, I don't know what went on with Kanan, but Kanan is scared, and you need to pay attention. This boy needs you to hear him out. You know, and she was like, let me worry about my son, and you worry about taking all of your fineness slowly down this alleyway so I can watch you walk away. I like to watch you walk away. Baby, that little green, it was green or either dark gray or so dark gray that it looked green, jumpsuit that she had on with that belt, and it had that gold embellishment on the front of it. Ugh. Rock, you better give us style and grace. Come on. Beautiful. Let's talk about Kanan. Kanan feels a tremendous amount of guilt, okay, about Detective Daddy. Now, he don't know that it's his daddy. It's Detective Howard to him, but you guys know who I'm talking about. He feels a lot of guilt about it. He's had nothing but the summer time to think about it, and he's in a place where he doesn't have a lot of cares or responsibilities or different people, Juke, Famous, Lou, Marvin, pulling him in all these different directions, and he's had time to do nothing but focus on the fact that you shot a dude. You looked the dude dead in the eye, boo, and shot him. Thought it was going to be easy, didn't you, huh? Yeah, it's different when you ducking around the alley and closing your eyes real tight and just shooting aimlessly down the street and you happen to hit someone. Then when you look them right in their eye and you see that light, pew, right, go out, go down. Oh, blood. Oh, gun smoke. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Like the pulling your shoulder. You're going to feel that for weeks afterwards, especially if you ain't used to it. Ow! You know, when you go to reach for something, you're going to be like, oh, that's right, I did shoot a gun. Huh? That lodged a bullet in a man's chest. Yeah, that shoulder going to remind you of it. It's something that's in the forefront of his mind. Okay? He feels guilty not only about that, but about a drug game. You know, before he left, he didn't just shoot Detective Howard. Detective Howard survived, but there was 25 crackheads that died because he decided he was smarter than everybody. He was gonna go mix these drugs up, and it killed a whole crack house full of crackheads. Oh, he's got a reason to feel guilty. Okay, he's slightly impressed with what Rock has accomplished in 3 months, but he's not sure if he wants to still be a part of this game. Now, he is excited to see Juke when he sees Juke, and he shares his fears with her. She confirms it, right? The reason why you're feeling this way is because, Rock, your mama shouldn't have never sent you to do that. Not the first time that Juke has told him this, but it's the first time he's hearing her processing it and understanding, man, she got a point. She has a point. Finally, he tells Rock eventually in this episode about his feelings. And she accepts her responsibility. At the same time, she was like, yeah. I put you in a position. I put you in this particular position. And I take responsibility for that. And, you know, I'm just going to have to work on every day to fix it. And blue. Listen, she got to keep Kanan calm. Because she knows she can't have Kanan out here half-cocked. Kanan does stupid things. Young Kanan does dumb things when he's out here half-cocked. When he's out here determined that he's going to prove that he know best and that his brain is bigger than everybody else. So she got to keep him calm. She's got to keep this sort of passive energy going on with him. And I'm sure she's cooking up several other schemes to knit and bind him in a little bit closer to her. Right? She assures him that she's doing it all for him. All for him. I say beware, Kanan. beware. We don't technically know if Rock's character is still alive when Kanan comes into power, when he gets out of jail in power. We don't know if Rock's character is deceased. If you guys know more, you tell me. So while we know what happens with Kanan and we know what happened with Juke, because we've already seen them in their latter years in the Power franchise, right? In the earlier Power franchise, we don't know what happens to Marvin or Lou or um or Rock. We don't know about these famous. We don't know about Unique. We don't know about these characters, like what happens to them. And so that's one of the reasons why this leg of the franchise is so interesting. It's so interesting, right? Because it's a peek and a view into how things shaped up for how they came to be, the way they came to be for Kanan and for Jude. Moving forward, Juke is still mourning Nicole, her girlfriend. She is in mourning. She is angry, not just at her life and the situation, but she angry at Marvin. Ooh, she is mad at Marvin. And she seems to have this curiosity about her mom. She's going through old pictures and stuff, and she pulls up a picture of her mom. Y'all know LaToya Luckett, London? I don't know. One of them LaToyas is the one that was on Greenleaf. She is playing her mom this season. So I'm excited about seeing that. And I'm excited about seeing Juke possibly get some love that doesn't involve her being a part of something that she's not committed to. It doesn't, it's this love that is given. I want to see Juke receive love that there's no expectation behind it, right? I don't know if she's going to get it from her mom. Every picture I see of her mom, she seems very conservative to me, but we're going to see. So we see where she is consistently writing and singing and recording on her tape player. She makes Nicole a tape and she takes it to her graveside. I think the song was called "I'm Not Over You." I'm still sad about you, something like that, child. And she's doing all of this, but it's like Lou doesn't notice it. He doesn't acknowledge it. And it's not acknowledged by Lou. It's not acknowledged by the family. It's one of those things where, you know how when you're not the squeaky wheel, people feel like they don't have to worry about you. At the same time that it's a compliment, it's really a curse too, right? Because if you the person that no one ever has to worry about, they don't check on you. They don't acknowledge that you may be quiet, you in pain. Oh, she all right. She'll be okay. She always makes smart decisions. You ain't got to go with her. She can go by herself. She can handle it. She can handle the responsibility. When you're not the squeaky wheel, you get no oil. You get no oil. You get no love, no attention, no support, any of that. This is what she's getting here from this family, because they're also self-involved with what they have going on. Here is a girl that is in so much pain, but because she's not a squeaky wheel, she's not a whiner and a complainer, she doesn't get any love and attention. There's, half-hearted support. They do acknowledge that she is their family. They do acknowledge that she's a part of the family. But for instance, Rock has an entire dinner for Kanan's return. And she tells everybody, and she tells Kanan, most importantly, we haven't done one of these family dinners since you been gone. I said, we're not going to do them until you back. What a slap in Juke's face. What a slap in Juke's face. Juke lost her best friend, her girlfriend, behind drugs that Kanan put together. Rock say the only thing we gonna do is sleep and eat and wipe our own butts. Anything outside of that's gonna be fun, we're not doing. We just gonna work and just exist until Kanan get home. Until Kanan get home, nobody is to do anything extra. And that's our homage to Kanan. It's such a slap in the face of Jude. She literally never gets celebrated. never really gets appreciated. I think that some of the things that we've seen Rock do in terms of encouraging Juke and supporting Juke, it's really nice. But at the same time, we notice that Rock doesn't really do anything to her unless it's to her own end. It applies to her own agenda. It's a part of her own agenda. It's important that these kids get stroked in a way where they don't go talking. They don't go messing nothing up. I know you're mad at your daddy, and I'm going to try to do best I can to keep your daddy off your back, but at the same time, we can't have you out here talking about your daddy. Okay. Let's move on to Lou. Lou is playing kind of soft this season. I mean, I know it's just the first episode, but let's just say he playing kind of soft in this first episode. He is habitually late to all the sales meetings. Okay, he lacks ambition and the desire to better himself within the company. Okay, and like I said, Rock is now openly embarrassing and Lou and praising Marvin. It's I mean, this is Bizarro world. Up is down, in is out. Like, what is we doing? Okay. We see where she wants to take on a new building. Like we talked about it. I think it's going to be called a 40 building. 40, yeah. And she wants Lou to run it. Lou was like, he doing a good job. Marvin doing a good job with the car, to give it to Marvin. And she was like, first of all, Ninja, what I say? Huh? What I say? What I tell you? Oh, okay, that's what you gonna do. You gonna run it. You gonna be on time, and you gonna do what you told to do. Get your head out of the game. And then she belittles the music game. It's not her first time. She said, how much money you done made in the music game? He was like, I want to do my music. And she was like, how much money you done made in the music game? And he was like, silence. And she was like, exactly. If it ain't making you no money, it's a hobby. It ain't no job. And he was like, oh. He knows not to argue. Like I said, he's coming across a little bit on the weak side in this episode. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Okay, so, like I said, Rock is openly embarrassing him and praising Marvin. We see where she wants to bring Unique Boys in on the thing. Like, when he comes out of jail, if he comes out of jail, I don't want him to have nobody to rely on. I don't want him to have a set to go back into. Okay, so we're going to break his boys up and bring them into our fold. It doesn't seem smart. It doesn't seem smart, but Rock is on the roll, and she's feeling pretty powerful right now. It's a dangerous place to be in because you're so busy, patting yourself on the back. You don't see peripherally where you making real stupid moves, real bad mistakes that's going to cause you a problem. Now, why would you bring the enemy's people into the camp in order for them to have a bird's eye view of how you run your business and what's going on in there, how much money you bringing up in there? Which, by the way, they're supposed to be bringing $75K a day in with this Carter building. A day. Okay. I was like, Rock, you could have did that YouTube. All you need was a beauty channel, a style channel, a gaming channel. Anywho. So, we see where, like I said, she just gathers him up about that. Now, he feels a little way about this because, it was Unique game that set his house on fire. That was trying to kill Lou in season 1, right? And so he was like, you finna bring these ninjas on board? And she was like, what I say? This about business. It's not personal. That's because, Rock, you did not have your house burned out, ma'am. You did not have your house burned out. You wasn't in the hospital for weeks with smoky lungs. Okay? You wasn't wheezing, from smoke inhalation poison. Okay? Rock. Listen, Jessica, the girlfriend, and Famous's sister, who she's managing Famous now. He had one song on the radio, child, and she done became his manager. Now, she is a nuisance. She's a nuisance, and doggone Famous is a pothead, right? All he do is smoke. He ain't writing no music, and she's like, put him on the radio, give him another song. And Famous is like, I need you to write the song, give me the beat, and rap it for me while I sit over here and light this blunt. And Lou is like, first of all, Jessica, your brother is trash. Your brother is not ambitious. He's not trying to do anything in the music game. I give him a beat, he won't write the lyrics. I give him lyrics, he won't drop a beat with it, right? He ain't coming to the studio unless everything is hand done for him. And she was like, I just don't understand why you can't put my brother on. First of all, you need to try to get yourself up the hill before you try to drag a lifeless body along with you. And that's what Famous is. He is pot, 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 pot. Now, she telling Lou what's the what, and he is telling her, screw you and screw your brother now. Okay, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing it. Like, you're not the same girlfriend. All you are is Famous's manager, and you keep trying to grift me out of free studio time and all of this. He was like, I don't want to hear it. At the same time, Famous is telling his sister, make that producer do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Use it to get him to write my music and drop the beat for my music and also rap it for me. Otherwise, what good is your producer? You know what I'm saying? If it ain't getting everything done, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't growing, if it ain't planting, growing the weed, picking the weed, drying the weed, and rolling the weed up for me, what good is it? Right? I want everything to be done for me. This is what I want, and that's your job. That's your job. Okay? It's crazy. It's crazy. So talking about Lou being sort of weaker in this new season, coming across weaker. Not only that, he don't even know that Jessica is sleeping with Crown. Jessica is sleeping with Crown. Not only is she screwing Crown, but she got Crown putting a good word for her in California to become like a PNR, RNA, RNR. I forget what they call them. Like a radio executive or something, like a record executive. R&R. R&R is rest and relaxation. A&R. A&R. That type of position. But she not sure she want to leave. Like, she was like, I don't know if I want to go just yet because I got my brother here. And he was like, well, the job waiting for you anytime you get there. I was like, girl, when you get there, you know what you're going to be. Drugged and turned out. Drugged and turned out. I wouldn't take my behind up there to California. Not now. Not in the 90s, boo. Not in the 90s. I know they say the 2022 is hard. But, baby, girls been getting drugged and turned out. You know what I'm saying? They show up at the bus station, pimped, drugged, beaten, turned out, and found dead, child. You best watch yourself, ma'am. You best watch yourself. And you're moving ugly. Now, all of this is going on right under Lou's nose. This is why I say this ain't the same Lou from season 1. But we're going to find out. Let's talk about Marvin. Marvin is released from jail. And he's on a roll. The lawyer does tell him that he's going to be punished with anger management classes. So what? All you got to do is go sign in and leave. He go sign in to the class. Grab him a donut and he about to leave, and the lady's like, excuse me, sir, you need to have a seat. He was like, oh, no, I'm on a special plan where I just show up and sign in and leave. She was like, okay, you're welcome to do that, but I'm gonna report you to the court system and they're gonna throw you back in jail if you don't stay. And he was like, she was like, sit your monkey down. And he was like, at the same time, it's like Marvin met his match. He was like, oh, no, I'm special. And she was like, yeah, you special, all right. And I got a special seat for you sitting right inside of this prayer circle. Let's go, sir. Let's go. And Marvin was like, I am appalled and turned on all at the same time. So we also see where he has been given more responsibility, like I told you, from Rock. Now she wants him, basically when she has this salesman meeting, she lets him know these are some complaints I've been getting in our complaint boxes, the what can we do better boxes. And basically people are saying it stinks around here. There's a lot of, this, that going on. So Marvin, I want you to put a team together and I want the floors and stuff mopped and cleaned every 2 days. Now, I mean, it's no big deal. You just get a crackhead to do it. Now, I don't know how much crack you pay for something like that, but is it gonna be done properly? I don't know, but whatever. She's trying to keep everybody happy because she don't need anybody talking out of school. Like, it's quite an undertaking to put an entire building under your spell. It is quite an undertaking. I mean, I know you probably think it just take a little drugs, a little money, and a little gunpowder, but at the same time, humans, it's hard to corral humans. It's hard to corral humans. Like, it's gonna be a fighter in every bunch. I promise you that. We see where like I said, he's in charge of the Carter, and he's in charge of keeping up with Unique. When Unique gets out of jail, there Marvin is, right there in that red BMW. I'm like, that's super conspicuous, Marvin. That is super conspicuous. If you want to hide in plain sight, get you one of them white fleet vehicles like you get from the rental car places, the same cars that insurance salesmen drive. Get you a white 4-door sedan. Don't be in a bright, shiny, red BMW with gold rims. Like, you think he didn't see you, boo? It's fine. It's Marvin. I mean, what else? We see, like I said, he's in charge of keeping up with Unique when he gets out of jail. He's also working on trying to get, I won't say he's working on repairing his relationship with Duke, but what he is working on is trying to get her to forgive him, to at least talk to him and acknowledge him. Because right now she is egging him out. And egging is a viable word, you guys. We used to say egging. You egging me? Oh, he was egging her. Oh, I think he egging him, right? Like, you ignoring me. She egging him down, right? And he is like, dude, I like the way you did your hair. And she was like, psh. And he was like, I like the way you, and she was like, psh. And he was like, when you gonna talk to me again? She was like, boom, I ain't got nothing to say to you. Right? She's like, as I can get as far away from you as possible, that's what I'm gonna do, right? And he was like, but Juke. And she was like, did anybody hear anything? Anyone? Ooh, crushed. At the same time, no one is saying, Marvin, you shouldn't have did that girl that way. That wasn't right. They don't do that. Duke deserves better. They don't do that. Lou is not like, I'm going to put you on. Since I see you writing music and I need music, I'm going to put you on. No, he is like, your daddy said not to. Your daddy don't want me to do it. And therefore, I'm egging you too, right? They don't do any of those things. At the same time, they don't really say nothing to her about the fact that she egging him. They're like, well, Marvin, you just gonna have to live with that. That's what you get for putting paws on her. And it's not enough. It's not enough. They don't stand for Juke at all. She's on her own. If she thinks it if she thinks that they're gonna come in and tell Marvin, you got to treat your daughter better, that's not going to happen. They saying y'all got to work it out between the two of y'all. We ain't in it, but we ain't going to let y'all kill each other, basically. That's so non-supportive. She needed to see Marvin be reprimanded. She needed to see him be brought into place. Instead, it's not like he has to apologize. He just wants to make things better. It is odd. And it makes me so sad for Juke. And I can see people are like, I just want to see that moment where she changes. I think these are the moments where she is perpetually changing. When she walks into the studio and Lou has found new talent, a really pretty girl, and she's got a really pretty voice. She got old Heather Headley type tone to her. And he was like, yeah, right? She's in the studio, right? Like, he's telling Juke, like, she's a bomb, like, she's a jam. And Juke is like, yeah, that's good music. And in the back of her mind, she's like, dude, I write songs all the time. I sing just as good, if not better than her. But you don't never put me on. You don't never even put me in the booth. You don't even let me make dummy CDs, right? Like, I got to go to the mall for that, right? It's just crazy. And it makes me so sad. Listen, Detective Howard, and then we done. Detective Howard is playing like he got amnesia. He ain't got no amnesia, cause he's still driving by when Famous comes over to be all loud and gregarious and out of place and obnoxious with Juke and Kanan. Kanan peeps Detective Howard riding by. He all in the back of the he's driving by. He all lean back in the seat. We see you, boo. We see you and your furrowed brow. Okay. And Kanan is like, they say he don't remember, but he seemed like he know me from somewhere. Detective Howard is also trying to keep his partner in check. At the same time, he is running a full-on reconnaissance on Rock and Kanan and the whole situation. And it's almost like, and I said this in the TSF Entertainment panel, it's almost like he's trying to find a way to pull Kanan out of that. He's gotten his bone marrow. It's not just for bone marrow anymore. He's trying to, it seemed like to me, he's trying to find a way to pull Kanan out of that situation and get him out full and clean before Rock can retaliate, before she can snatch him back into the fold, right? It seems like this is what he's working on. So he is still a man of few words. He's not half as cocky. He's moving very intentional and very deliberate. I'm looking forward to seeing more from Omar Epps. And I'm looking forward to seeing more from his character, Detective Howard. But that's where we are. That is episode 1. The More Things Change of Power Book 3 Kanan. You guys tell me what you thought about this episode, what you thought about our characters. I just feel like the actor who plays Kanan is getting more and more 50 Cent, like with every movement, with every moment, like the way he drag his words out and turn his mouth down in a furrowed frown when he talk. I feel like it. I was like, ooh, child. Sometimes I squint a little bit. I was like, 50, is that you? Anywho, y'all tell me what y'all think of this episode and this review. Of course, I would love to hear it. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to comment down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah, holla.